Good morning, market snipers. This is Jesse. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, awesome. Welcome aboard. The first 15 to 30 minutes of the live stream, we're going to dive into the charts very quickly, very deeply, right? We're going to jump in right away and knock out as many important charts that I think that we should be taking a look at. And we'll scan, crypto, Bitcoin, the Magnificent Seven on a regular basis, and some other stocks as well. And of course, Forex if you want. So if you want, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Help me, help you, help me. Second half of the live stream, if you're a subscriber, you can comment that what asset you would like me to chart for you. Just let me know the details, ticker symbol, asset type, crypto, stock, whatever it is, in case I've never charted it before. And for the search purposes to be very quick, right? How I can search for it very quickly. And we'll do that on the second half of the live stream, typically 15 to 30 minutes. And of course, if you have any questions or follow-up questions, I'll be happy to answer most of those as we get along in the second half of the live stream. This is our 6th consecutive live stream since the stock market is open. Our previous streak was 75 when we started September 6th. We missed the day after Christmas. And we had a live stream record. Breaking news. We had a live stream record, probably due to the live stream crew, and a lot of it is going to be due to the replay crew too. So we need that replay crew smashing that like button. We hit 71. It's our highest likes so far. And our goal is still to hit 100. So we're still looking to do that. Good morning, everyone. Rick's. Hi, Jesse. Fellow snipers. Been traveling to Florida, setting up camp here for the winter. Awesome, Rick. Awesome. Snowbird over there. Snowbird is setting up for Florida in the winter. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Javier, good morning. Welcome back. Ollie, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna dive in. The title is Apple is ultra bearish. It's ultra bearish on the daily chart. It's hit 3 out of the 4 targets so far to the downside. So we're going to take a look at Apple. The NASDAQ futures has a pending sell signal on the daily chart. And Bitcoin's, it's been struggling to break out. There was a fake out to the upside so far. We're going to take a look at that as well. We'll probably circle back to it. But since we started with Apple, we'll probably circle back to Bitcoin on it. And yesterday, after additional bearish divergence, there was a reversal candle. No sell signal yet on Bitcoin. So we'll take a look at it. We'll come back. Well, let's jump right into Apple. We're going to change it up a little bit today. We'll circle back to Bitcoin. But let's start off with Apple, right? So after this pivot low here at 165, it pumped all the way up to 199, made a new all-time high, and took out that wick at 198. It wicked up, even had multiple daily closes above the July 2023 all-time highs, right? And so Apple, after putting in new all-time highs, is it going to put in a higher low and then continue to the upside? Or was that it? Are we going to see a deeper correction? That we don't know, right? We won't know for sure. We need to watch out for higher time frames of potential reversals. And this is what we're kind of looking at, right? So you've got, going back to 2021, you've got a high, you got a higher low, you got a higher high, higher low, and then another higher high. So it's still an uptrend, but we do have a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. Apple is one of the few assets that has not retested the 200-week moving average yet. Many assets retested the 200-week moving average back in 2022 and even 2023, and many of them even went below it. Apple is one of the few that never did. Will it finally retest the 200-week moving average in 2024? That is a question we'll be asking, and there is a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. There's a gap down, and on the daily chart, so it is currently bearish on the weekly chart. It's currently ultra bearish on the daily chart. As you can see, the candle is blue right now, right? The candle is blue. Lets us know when it's overbought, lets us know when it's oversold, and it can remain that way, right? So once a $3 trillion asset at the end of 2023, put in a potential lower high, put in another potential lower high, gap down, sell signal on Tuesday, the 2nd, and now it's coming down. So let's put on the targets. Let's take a look at it created this new gap over here after closing a gap over here from back here, kind of broke all the way down, filled that gap, went even higher, created bearish divergence, and now it is breaking down on Apple. Partly the reason why we're seeing the NASDAQ break down, Apple, Magnificent Seven, makes up the majority of the NASDAQ. So you're going to see if Apple and some of these other Magnificent Seven stocks break down, of course, you're going to see NASDAQ futures break down as well. So 3 of the 4 targets so far to the downside. Will it find support here at target 3, bounce back up, possibly put in another lower high? So we could probably see a couple things like this, right? Come down, find support, come back up, put in a lower high, and then we'll find out if it puts in a lower high, right? Then we'll find out if it puts in a lower high and continues downward. Obviously, it could come back down to come all the way down to target 4, then bounce, find support, come back up, possibly fill the gap, and then come back down like that. In a less likely scenario, just come straight back down, right? So that one we won't think that's going to happen, right? Obviously, we expect bounces along the way, so we'll take that one off. But could it find support here at target 3? Yes, it definitely could find support here, bounce back up, and then we'll find out if it puts in a lower high on Apple. But as of right now, it's still ultra bearish, so it's quite possible that it comes down to target 4 first, and then we'll find out if this is going to be a higher low, just like it was back here, and then takes off to the upside. So really, you've got those scenarios, and then not too far off, right? Here, let's take this. Let's refresh this. The chart's kind of taking a little bit longer to load over here. Good morning, everyone. Smash that like button. Sup, boss? I'm back today, Emmanuel. Awesome. I haven't seen you in a while, Emmanuel, on the live stream. I haven't seen you back here in a while. Can you check Matic? Can you chart Matic? Yeah, we've been charting them on the live streams, Emmanuel, and we looked at it, and I think Matic's one of the ones that had a sell signal yesterday, and we've been covering it pretty much every day. So we'll take a quick glance at it, but we probably won't spend too much time on it since we've been doing it. Gert, Jan, Tenhove, good evening. Welcome back, Gert. Myrna, good morning. Welcome back. All right, so now we refreshed the chart, took us back to Bitcoin, and just loves Bitcoin, right? Just loves Bitcoin. So that's one scenario, whether it's target 3 or target 4. I consider that one scenario, right? So let's put that over here like this as scenario 1. Scenario 2 would be is if you're a perma bull, right? If you're a perma bull on Apple, and it's always up only, because it's pretty much been up only forever, right? With some big corrections along the way, but then you would expect price to find support and then take off to the upside, taking out this high here and creating another high. So let's change that to yellow, right? So, oh, wrong one. Hold on. We'll get the flow. Don't worry. So that would be kind of scenario 2. So scenario 1, scenario 2. One thing to consider, if the weekly chart goes from a pending sell signal to a sell signal, then I'm gonna lean towards, obviously I'm gonna lean towards Apple putting in a lower high and scenario 1, right? It's too early to say. It's only Thursday. We still have today and we still have tomorrow before the weekly candle close, right? So the weekly candle close for Apple. But if there is a sell signal, right? Then I would expect possible lower targets. Didn't really see too much. We had some sell signals on the weekly chart back here and still pumped up higher. But there is bearish divergence even on the weekly chart. And so could get that sell signal, even pump back up, put in a lower high, and then we'll see if it comes down back there and possibly even comes back and retests the 200-week moving average. We put that poll out on Twitter X app. So if you're not following us over there, definitely go follow us over there. We put it out yesterday, right? Put out a poll because silver, oh, there's my dog. Silver, we said that it did a round trip and came all the way back. Here we go. Silver has just taken out a round trip round trip back to the 200-week moving average, 2297. 200-week moving averages, Bitcoin sub $30,000, gold sub 1850, NASDAQ sub 13,250. Sub just means below, right? I know people are watching this across the world, right? Watching across the world. All 300 viewers, right, are across the world. NASDAQ is sub 13,250. Apple is sub 150, right? For the 200-week moving average. So it's possible. We're still seeing 67% of the 329 votes, right? So it's possible that Apple goes sub 150 because it's a moving average, right? It's trending upward. So possibly, sub 150, just kind of eyeball test, and maybe it takes longer to play out, and maybe it turns into a sub 160. We don't know yet. But just to point out, pending sell signal on the weekly chart. Scenario one, the orange scenario, would be my base case if the pending sell signal on the weekly chart flips into a sell signal. Too early to call it so far. So could see it come down. Scenario one, bounce back up, put in a lower high, and then continue down. That is Apple, right? That is Apple. NASDAQ, pending sell signal on the daily chart. As of right now, target one has been hit so far. We've had these green arrows and red arrows when it was an uptrend versus a trend possible change reversal, right? Could put in a lower high at some point, whether that's today, tomorrow, Monday, we don't know, but it could find support, bounce back up, even back test this trend line, and then come back down after that, right? So a higher probability of a trend reversal when a lower high is put in. As of right now, we had that bearish divergence. Price was overbought. It was breaking down. It was breaking down. We've been covering every single day. Pending sell signal could come down lower first, maybe even front run target two, then bounce all the way back up. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, but the market snipers will continue to do it, continue sniping the markets together, and we'll watch it every single day and cover it and sniper the markets to the best of our ability every single day. We'll continue to watch it over there. SP 500, similar thoughts. On the lower time frame, we even had a rising wedge, right? We're covering this even on the lower time frames over here, the rising wedge. I think maybe it was on the maybe I even had it on the 4-hour chart, but kind of a rising wedge there was breaking down, right? Was breaking down, and then lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So it doesn't mean it can't retrace, come back up, put in a lower high, right? And then continue downward. It takes time to go through topping patterns, takes time for it to go through reversals. But one thing I can say is that was a huge move up. And after a huge move up and a reversal, we would expect retracements along the way. Even if it continues to be bullish in 2024 and makes higher highs in 2024, we would expect a higher low to be put in, whether it's target one, target two, target three, or target four, right? There's confluence areas on the yellow target boxes. So I started coloring the target boxes differently just the other day. So you got target one, you got confluence, and then target four, right? As still possibilities. Don't forget 200-week moving average all the way down here, lurking at $4,000 SP 500. The dollar, right? Still bearish as of right now, but we're talking about that it could possibly find support down here at a key target four, right? It was target four. Looks like it could find support, starting to bounce back up. We could see a possible buy signal in the near future. If you're looking at the trending dots, though, it just takes some time for it to get kind of turned around. Pretend that's the trending dots. So if price comes back down like this, right, and puts in that higher low. Yeah, I'm saying it correctly today. Well, look out. I'm saying it correctly today. The Dow, yep. Dow Jones, yep. Thanks, man. Yep, you got it, Manuel. So that would be the dollar, right? It's possible. Could just get a buy signal first, pop out, then come back down and put in that higher low. It's possible, and then come back out as well, right? Those are kind of the two scenarios that we're watching right now. We will see how it plays out on the dollar. Let's take a look at Meta real quick. Similar thoughts, right? Below the trending dots right here. And then you got this trend line, upward trend line like this. Still above it as of right now. A higher probability is putting that lower high, and then we'll see if it comes down and has a sell signal. Too early to say. Whereas Amazon, it's not too early to say, right? You've got just by looking at it, you've got the breakdown, and then you got the sell signal, and then gap down even further to 144. Could bounce back up into the trending dots, put in a lower high, and then continue downward, and then even possibly fill this gap right here, right? That's Amazon, bearish on the daily chart. Microsoft, still bearish on the daily chart. Still below the trending dots, right? It's battling. It's battling. It's hard to kill a bull, right? Still battling. Could see it kind of play out, right? It's about that trend line like that. You've got bearish divergence, possible lower high, breakdown, possible lower high, battling. Is this the last test before it continues down from target 1 to target 2? Possibility. Tesla, still bearish on the daily chart, had bearish divergence, reversal candle, broke down, could pump back up, possibly even back in the trending dots, maybe all the way back up. I think it's less likely, but maybe all the way back up the trend line, put in a lower high. And then if it's a true trend reversal, could continue back down, could take some time to play out. You get the 200-week moving average back down here at 216. You could include that into the poll as well, especially if Apple does, especially if the NASDAQ does, if Bitcoin does, whatever. I don't know if it will, but I was just pointing out that silver did. And so it doesn't mean all the rest of the assets that I listed out does as well. Let's make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Help me, help you, help me. Let's keep going. Let's keep rocking and rolling over there. Aldo Olson, can we do MSOS stock, please? Looking at an entry. Also, did I miss the daily Celsius shill? Yeah, we don't show crypto. We don't have affiliate links. We don't do any of that scam stuff. Even if you didn't know it was a scam, right? There's some people that know it's a scam and they still shill things anyways because they're bad people. But even if you didn't know it was a scam, if you don't do your due diligence, whether you're selling for the company, like here we go. We got a little rant. Thanks to Aldo. We'll jump back into it. The drink, not the coin. Oh, Celsius. I already drank it. Yeah, I already drank it. Oh, you got me on a rant because of the coin, right? In the community, right? But you're talking about the drink. That's funny. That's hilarious. Well, I'm gonna finish my thought regardless. So, some influencers out there shill meme coins and they shill affiliate links, right? Or they pump it up to get money out of it, right? And they do it knowing that it's probably most likely a scam, right? And those are the bad people, right? And then there's the ones that don't do their due diligence, right? There's salespeople in my DMs every single day trying to get me to advertise their exchanges. First question I always ask, because I already know the answer, right? I always ask questions I already know the answer when it comes to that kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, is it U.S. compliant? They said yes. I go to the website. It says in the fine print, it's the U.S. is not part of the zone that it's allowed to, or the zone, the regional zone, the regional area that they can't service. So the fine print is it's not U.S. compliant. It's not part of the right area, right? Obviously, I knew that, and so I went to their website. I saw that, and I told the salesperson, I said, either you don't know what you're doing and you're just selling blindly, which is dumb, right? Or you're a scam. And he said, I'm not a scam. I'm like, then you don't know what you're doing. It's either one or the other. And I got no response out of it after that. So don't come into my DMs asking me to sell things, A, if it's a scam, or B, you don't know what you're doing. And it could hurt people, right? It could hurt people if you get in, whether that's the US, giving out subpoenas to Coinbase about you moving money from Coinbase to exchanges outside the US. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that Coinbase was issuing subpoenas, and because Coinbase said, hey, they sent an email, like a blank email to everyone probably, and they're like, hey, the US is, you don't have to do anything, but the US is issuing subpoenas to us that they want to know where the money has gone from their exchange to other exchanges. So who knows what comes down the pipeline from that. And from that, the fine print of those exchanges, if you were to trade on there and the exchange finds out you're using a VPN, or one moment decides to, like, they can confiscate every single one of your dollars on the exchange that you're using because it's in their fine print if they catch you. So don't let them trap $10,000 of your money, or 100,000 or $1,000, right? Don't let them trap you and take all your money and steal it. So that's why you got to watch out. That's why we're going on a rant. Woo! Blame Aldo. Blame Aldo. Could you please look at BABA chart and comment on your 3 to 6 months expectation? Sure. All the U.S. exchanges are terrible, in my opinion. Coinbase. Yeah, but if you're in the U.S., Brendan, if you're in the U.S., and it's not, and the exchanges outside the U.S. aren't compliant, you better read that fine print, because if they catch you, the exchange, the ones that I've seen, Bybit and the latest one, I can't remember the latest one that I looked up, but there's several ones that I looked at their fine print, and it says the exchange fine print says the U.S. could catch you, A, but B, that the exchange could confiscate your funds, right? So that's why if you're in the U.S., you're kind of SOL. So with that, let's get back to the charts. That's the Magnificent Seven. Tesla, Apple, ultra bearish as of right now. Google could be breaking back down, right? Down 0.62%. If we look in the heat map, remember the heat map looks good today, right? But yesterday, Bitcoin was down 5%. So of course you're going to get some of that retrace. It's typically not, unless it's in a bear market, right? Which I'm not saying it's in a bear market, because it's been buy the dip season since this exact date, 2023, right? We were talking about the 16,800 Bitcoin breakout, January 4th, 2023. So it's been buy the dip season since then. But Bitcoin dropped 5% yesterday, according to the heat map, and probably on the daily candle as well. And so it's getting some of that retraced back. Same with Ethereum and all the altcoins, right? So just keep that in mind. It was a lot of red yesterday, 2-3% for all these stocks. And so you can see Amazon down 1%, Apple down 1%, Nvidia getting a little bit of a bounce back, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, that it's not just straight down typically, unless it's like a bear market. And it's not straight up typically unless it's a blow off top of a bull run, right? So let's keep going. Let's circle back to Bitcoin. So this is what we've been watching. This is what we've been waiting for. Quick recap on it. We'll get back into the flow on it. So yeah, it was bearish. It was oversold, had bullish divergence, reverse candle, higher low, took off to the upside, right? So that's just the quick recap. Then it was overbought, bearish divergence, reverse candle. Thought it was possibly a lower high, possible lower high, never did. We talked about a candle close back above here is bullish and is trending upwards, right? So here we are now. Fast forward now. It was getting overbought again. Additional bearish divergence. It's been consolidating. Talked about this could be a possible lower high, not confirmed. Breakout or fake out to the upside. We don't know yet, right? It was an original fake out. We expect fake outs along the way, right? So you could call this a fake out. You could call this wick to the downside a fake out. And here we are somewhere in between. And that was a big move down, right? So if you got a big move down from here, from $45,882-ish, right? Depending on what exchange you're on, comes all the way back down, retraces, and we'll find out where the candle close is, right? So we've got two scenarios. We've laid it out 3 weeks ago, right? We laid out the two scenarios 3 weeks ago, and it's continuing to be the same scenario. So we'll find out if this is going to be the bearish divergence reverse candle, where eventually it puts in a lower high, maybe even a sell signal, right? Maybe another lower high, and then comes down like that, right? So that was scenario 2. The other scenario drawn out back here was comes out like this, right? And then comes back out like that, comes down, puts in a lower high, and it comes down. Both were buy the dip scenarios. So we're continuing to watch it. This is the fourth target out of 4 longer term targets to the upside, right? It's hit 3 out of the 4 targets so far. So we're continuing to watch it. Is it going to hit the 4th target prior to the halving? That's been our question, right? So whether it's this scenario or this scenario, both are buy the dip scenarios. And we covered it yesterday. We covered it the day before, covered it every single day. And the last 3 weeks, we've been covering it even on video updates, stuff like that, where it's just Bitcoin by itself. So we'll find out if it does or does not. You know, if we get an additional candle close back above the horizontal line here and this downward trend line, the probabilities are starting to increase that we would see this target be hit. So we'll take it step by step. You could also move the horizontal line back up into here, but you know that's just one candle close up there. So we'll find out. We'll keep an eye on it. If it's going to put in a lower high, right? It's possible. You got that bearish divergence up to here. So any candle closes back below the 44,950-ish, right? 44,950-ish would be a lower high. Could be a slight lower high, right? Maybe if it come back down again, who knows how many times it could fake out. It's battling right now. We will see how it plays out. And then once there's a lower high, once there's a sell signal, then the probabilities will increase that we won't go hit this higher target 4, right? So we'll find out. We'll see which buy the dip scenario could play out. And we'll continue to monitor over time. Jumping over to crypto over here. Crypto looks a little bit different, right? So you had the bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle, and then Ethereum, right? Something we just talked about in Bitcoin. After the reverse candle kind of broke back down, pumped all the way back up, but closed below, right? So this is exactly what we're talking about. And I didn't even realize this. I've just been looking at all these charts so much, right? So let me change that to line and then blue, right? So this is exactly what we just talked about on Bitcoin, right? So you got the bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle. It could pump all the way back up with a wick, right? But close below and be a lower high, followed by a sell signal, retrace some of that, see if it puts in another lower high and continues downward from there. So is Ethereum leading the way? Will Bitcoin look similar? Probably not exact, but will it look similar? That's something we'll find out. Maybe it's a couple days ahead or a week ahead, right? So we'll continue to watch it. Bearish divergence, followed by a reverse candle, looks like a lower high, sell signal, a lower, and it even took out this pivot here. So it seems like a lower high is confirmed. We got a sell signal, kind of retracing some of that huge move down to the upside. We'll see if it puts in another lower high and continues downward from there. So that is Ethereum, right? Looking a little bit different. Sand, bearish divergence, lower high, sell signal, took out this pivot point, right? So crypto looking a little bit different. Bearish divergence, looks like it's ahead of the game, right? Bearish divergence, sell signal, took out this pivot here, right? Lower high confirmed. Near, bearish divergence, possible lower high, no sell signal yet on near, so can be tricky. Bearish divergence, lower high, sell signal, took out the pivot point. Boom, confirming the lower highs on these, right? So that's mana. We keep going. Chain link, bearish divergence, lower high, reversal candle, lower high, sell signal, right? Took out that pivot there, and then hasn't taken out this pivot here. Still could find support, right? Still above the 200-week moving average. We will see. Possible that it comes down even further. Lower prices down there. Solana, bearish divergence, lower high. This took out the pivot here with this candle close. No sell signal yet on Solana, but lower high confirmed. And then we'll find out if it continues to put in lower highs and lower lows over there on Solana for a retracement. Bearish divergence on Cardano. Possible lower high, sell signal, confirmed lower high, right? So that's Cardano. Woo! We're rocking and rolling today. We're rocking and rolling today. No need to smash that like button because I know you already are, right? Don't forget to subscribe so you can comment exactly what you want me to chart. Let me know if you have any questions. Rocking and rolling. Let's keep going. We're flowing now. I didn't even look up the clock. We're 30 minutes in. Let's rock and roll. Let's keep going. Now we're feeling it. Now we're feeling it. Hold on. Hold on, Emmanuel. Hold on. We're almost to Matic. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Longtime sniper in the Discord. Good to see you back. I think you've been busy with work or something, but I don't know. I'll check in with you. I'll check in with you on the Discord. Matic, here we go. Matic hit longer term target based off the weekly chart. Had bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence. And then we had a possible lower high, right? Possible lower high. Sell signal takes out this pivot low, lower high confirmed, right? Doesn't mean it can't come back all the way up, put in another lower high, and continue back down, right? So broke down from the trending dots, broke down from the trend line, could come back in for a back test of the trending dots and the trend line. It's possible, right? It's possible it comes back like this on Matic, comes back in, puts in another lower high, continues down, puts in lower highs, lower lows, like that for the next possible buy the dip scenario, right? And you kind of map it out like this, right? Could be like that. Maybe it puts in like puts in other wicks right along the way. Maybe we even draw it like this. Maybe we even draw it like that. It's possible. It's possible, right? And move this back like this. There we go. Now we're flowing. Now we're speculating hard, right? And then maybe this is even bullish divergence, right, in the future, followed by a higher low, and then comes out like that for the next buy the dip scenario before the next Bitcoin halving event. This is what we're kind of been talking about. This is what we've kind of been laying out. This is what we've been watching, speculating, talking about it, covering it every single day. Discord, live streams, video updates, Twitter X app posts, you name it, weekly newsletters, free newsletter over there. You name it, we've been covering it. We got you covered. That's what our plan is. Continue sniping the markets together. All right, let's jump back over. You got it. You got it. I got it. I got it. You got it. We got it. What else? What else? We'll circle back on some of the other updates. BABA, US exchange is terrible. Yep, it is big as Babster. I'm gonna say no. Right. The reason why is because I've traded on Bing X before US started to like crack down a lot. They don't ask for any KYC whatsoever. So Bing X, I haven't been on there in a while, but Bing X is not, that has no KYC. So I moved my money off of Bing X because I was trading not the main account, but I was trading smaller amounts on Bing X, and I moved it all off of it personally because I don't think it is US compliant, because it wasn't asking when all these other companies like Qcoin and Kraken started to crack down for KYC and Coinbase, stuff like that. Bing X wasn't. So I don't think they are. You have to look at the fine print. I might have looked at the fine print. I remember looking at it. But if it's too easy to sign up and move money over there, then what do you think, right? Then what do you think? It's got to raise a red flag. If you're in the US and these exchanges are too easy to put money on, well, the problem is better check that fine print, A. And B, if it's not US compliant, then you may have problems with the US down the road. And I can't afford to do that, right? I can't afford to mess with the US. No matter what. I don't care. I'm not I'm too old to mess with that. I'm not in my 20s, right? I'm not doing that. Brendan, no Babster. There you go. The short answer, Babster, is Brandon just slapped you beside the head with no. There you go. Kidding. I'm kidding. What's good for the US? Femex? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. That's what I use Bing X too. I don't anymore. But it isn't compliant. I'd be very, very careful, Brendan. If you're in the US, I don't know where you're located, but I'm assuming you're in the US. If you are in the US and you're using a non-compliant exchange, you're gambling with you're playing with fire, right? Unless it's like such little lunch money that you don't care. But here's the other issue, right? What if the U.S. starts to subpoena how you got funds transferred over there, how they shut down BingX, whatever? Not only it could be like, I don't know, who knows if they like come after you for like tax purposes. Who knows if they come after you for like fines? What if you have to pay fines on it, right? They freeze your assets. Who knows what they'll do, right? Freeze their assets, or if BingX just disappears one day, right? Because they're not U.S. compliant, and the U.S. goes after them. They shut down all the U.S. stuff. They freeze assets. They keep your funds. And oh, by the way, if you're not in the area of BingX, I'll have to look it up on the fine print today because I can't remember. But in the fine print, it says, hey, if you're not in an area that is compliant, and we find out, we just take your funds anytime we want, right? So it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Brendan Southern, you use VPN. Oh man, there's so many influencers. I'm going to call one out right now. I saw it 2021. It was a huge red flag. Yep, you guessed it. BitBoy Crypto 2021, promoting Bybit for money and to use a VPN, right? I researched Bybit, and if you use a VPN and Bybit catches you, they will confiscate your funds. Says in the fine print. I haven't looked at the fine print in 3 years, but it says in the fine print, if you use a VPN and we catch you, we will confiscate your funds. And you got BitBoy Crypto out there 2021 promoting to use Bybit and just to use with their affiliate link and to use their usually I don't call people out, but I'm calling this one out. It was a red flag back then, and now you can see how it all turns out now. So they got affiliate links, they promote it, right? Then you can't trust them after that. You can't trust them after that. I saw it. I saw the fine print, and they literally promoted using a VPN. And here's our affiliate links. And in the fine print of Bybit, it literally says, if you use a VPN because you're out of the region, then we could confiscate every single dollar, right? They don't care about you. They don't care about you. Maybe Jesse doesn't trade leverage in crypto anymore. There's other ways to trade with leverage. You could use futures, right? You could use futures and stuff like that. So there are other ways around it. You can even trade options futures with Bitcoin and stuff like that. So super high risk stuff. But the high risk stuff, it's a higher risk to keep your funds on a non-compliant US. So it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What make a lower high confirmed? Takes out the lower low. A lower high confirmed once it takes out the lower low. But I don't wait for that because it would take too long, right? But a lower high is confirmed once a pivot low is taken out. Just on a time frame for ADA. Not sure what you're asking about. What makes a lower? You hit this up twice, Aldo? Come on. 2 comments? The same comment? Morning and happy New Year, boss. Good morning, Arnold, longtime sniper, and our first official and only moderator in the Discord. Shout out to Arnold for contributing. He doesn't get paid for it, so I appreciate all of his help. He was just helping out the community naturally, right? He was giving back to the community. So I asked him if he wanted to be the moderator. He doesn't get paid for it. Caesar, he just helps out, gives back to the community. That's what I love about the community is I could do it all myself, but it's not going to be as good. When the community contributes and helps each other, it's going to be even better. Caesar, good afternoon. Welcome back. You liked it. Awesome. Thank you. No, but I have a feeling they will kick us off soon. I haven't tried using it with the VPN yet, but at the top of the page, it says you are in a restricted region and will be prohibited from accessing. You will lose every dollar if they catch you, or they will eventually just wipe your account, most likely, right? You're on borrowed time, Brendan. You're on borrowed time. Are you using our services? I need to check it out with the VPN. I will check it out later. If it says you're in a restricted area, whether you're on VPN or not, they catch you, they will take your money. You're on borrowed time. You are right. I should definitely reconsider keeping my funds on there. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. I just know that there are scams out there. And if you're not US compliant and you're in the US, don't come crying to me if they wipe your account, right? There's educational purposes, not financial advice. But if they wipe your account, don't come crying to me. Don't say I didn't warn you, right? And I'll be the first one to tell you I told you so. So is it worth losing your trading account money because you're in a restricted area? It sucks, right? It sucks. We don't get to use the exact exchange we want. So I don't know if it's from negative reasons why the US wants to control more, right? We go down that rabbit hole, or they're, the optimists would say that they're trying to protect you, right? Because there are scams out there. I think it's probably a little bit of both, right? It's not so black and white. I think they want more control for their own purposes, but also protecting you, right? I think it's both, right? I don't think it's just a simple black and white conspiracy, right? I don't think it's that. But they do want a little bit of conspiracy. The U.S. wants more control, but also they want to make sure you're not getting scammed, right? So I think it's both. But yeah, it's up to you. Do your own thing. Had to fix the grammar. Oh, gotcha. I didn't even look at it. Awesome for Arnold. Yeah, thanks, Arnold. Appreciate it. Can't make fun of you with bad grammar. No problem. Time to buy the right dip mode. Yep. Jesse, ICP charts, please. ICP. Okay, we'll circle back. Is BitGet okay with US? You got to look at the fine print, Mala. You got to look at the fine print. If it's easy to sign up, that's a red flag, right? If they're not asking for a bunch of information, that's a red flag, right? If you have to use a VPN, obviously not, right? So go to the fine print. You got to look up the fine print. Wherever you're putting your money, you better go to the fine print, right? So that's all I'm going to say about it. You have to, if you're going to use money and you're going to risk money and it's too easy, it's a red flag. If you don't look at the fine print before you transfer your own money over, that's on you. That is on you. If you lose every dollar because you didn't read the fine print, you're talking about moving your hard-earned money, your hard-saved money, your hard-earned investment money. You're putting it onto an exchange or a brokerage offshore, right? That's not compliant, and you don't read the fine print, right? That's on you. That's on you. There's no one else to blame but you, right? So you have to put on your big boy, your big girl pants, and you have to do your own research, and you better read that fine print. So here I am trying to help you out with that. It's back on you. Let's jump back in the charts. We're getting some dead cat bounces here, major drops from yesterday on Bitfarm and some of the Bitcoin miners, getting some bounces. Are they going to put in a lower high? We don't know. Are they going to put in a lower high? And then we'll see. Or a higher low, right? So, or a combination of both. A low, a higher low, possible higher low, and then maybe it puts in higher highs, right? So we'll see. Still bullish. Bearish divergence on CLSK, reverse candle, drop down. Will it put in a lower high similar to crypto? We will find out. Big move from MIGI from the bottom, 14%, right? Came all the way from 232. We'll see if it puts in a lower high as well. Let's keep going. NASDAQ, SP 500, right? We already covered those. Oh, dollar. Talked about that. Yep. VIX had the low, buy signal, higher low, another buy signal here at $13, right? Target 1 has been hit so far. Will it hit target 2? If it does, that would be lining up with NASDAQ correction, Apple correction, possible Bitcoin correction, too early to say, crypto correction, Bitcoin mining correction, whatever it is, stocks, whatever it is, a VIX pumping to these targets for retracement would be lining up with retracement on the markets as well. So that is that. Silver was looking more bearish, right? So we talked about this possible lower high, and then it was break down, sell signal, and then continue to break down all the way below the 200-week moving average. Has battled back up. Will it find support at the 200-week moving average? It's been battling it all the way since September 2023. Even before that, it's been battling the 200-week moving average since June 2023. Right, so it's been a battle, up, down, up, down. So that's what we're continuing to watch over there. Gold has not come back down to the 200-week moving average. We don't know if it will or not, but we did have bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence on gold, starting to break back down, close back below the trending dots, start closing back below this upper trend line. We'll see if it turns into a sell signal similar to silver. Silver could be leading the way. We don't know, but it could be leading the way. And what if gold came back to retest the 200-week moving average, similar to silver and similar to what we are talking about over here? Gold, sub 1850, NASDAQ, blah, blah, blah. We don't know. We don't know yet. We'll continue to watch it and take it level by level. Bitcoin dominance kind of lines up with if Bitcoin is consolidating sideways and or correcting, right, while crypto corrects and goes through a correction, then Bitcoin drops less than, say, crypto. Crypto pumps more, crypto retraces more. Bitcoin pumps less, Bitcoin retraces less, right? So that's one thing to consider on Bitcoin dominance there. It is bullish as of right now. Had that bearish divergence, reverse candle, lower high, came down, hit 4 targets to the downside, and then found support at the 4th target. Is bouncing up, still currently bullish. Most likely while going through a correction. So with that, let's take a quick glance at PayPal. Pretty much flat today after the sell signal yesterday. Still bullish on the weekly chart, pending sell on the weekly chart. But even if it is a sell signal, right, it could just be coming back to test the trending dots, puts in that higher low that we've been talking about, and then takes off back in a bullish manner after that. So we'll continue to watch it. PayPal. We were looking for, bullish divergence, right? Then a higher low, even if that's all the way down here, right? Even if it retraces all the way to $55, it's still the same thought process for me. Bullish divergence, long-term bullish divergence, right? And if you're not sure what the bullish divergence is, we teach that in the recorded coaching. There's at least a 1-hour video on divergences. We talk about it. You also get, for the recorded coaching, is you get the Sharpshooter RSI 2.0 that spots bullish divergences and bearish divergences for you. So we've got long-term bullish divergence. They're just visual tools to help speed up the process and help you learn faster. I don't need them, but I like them. And some of the tools, I love them, right? So the divergences, you can spot bullish divergence. Then a higher probability is putting in that higher low, right? We don't have that yet. And so that's why we extend this out. It's always possible, puts in additional bullish divergence. I'm starting to think it's less likely though. So we'll see on PayPal. It's too early to say. Teladoc, similar thoughts. Bullish divergence, breaking out of the downward wedge, just like Bitcoin did in January 2023. We will see. It's still bullish, kind of letting the trending dots kind of catch up. Could consolidate for a couple weeks and then continue upward. We've got longer term upward targets from the all-time highs, right? We got the 200-week moving average trending down there. We'll keep that check mark there as a possibility. It's all the way at $110. Woo, 48 minutes. We're gonna have to switch gears real quick. We hit up these we hit all these targets up. So let's switch over. Let's cover all of the requests and take a look at it. Matic, we hit up Matic for you. We took a look at it. We've been covering it. What else? Aldo, Olson, being consistent over there and misspelling my name on purpose because I can't pronounce everyone's name correctly. That's on me. That's my fault. But let's keep going. So MSOS, we're going to try to get this through all of them in about 10 minutes so I don't have to flip the hat on backwards. Trust Advisors, Pure Cannabis. All right. So I guess we're looking at cannabis today. Weekly chart is bullish, right? Could have found a bottom here at $4.82. Could be a slightly higher low. on the weekly chart, could be a slightly higher low on the weekly chart, could be finding support, and could be getting ready for a bigger retracement here. It's been crushed since the all-time highs. Looks like up here at $56. It was wicked 55.99, but call it $6 from there, right? Eyeball test. What if, eyeball test looks like target 1, right? Target 2, target 3, possibly target 4, right? It's possible. It hasn't even been around long enough to have a 200-week moving average. So let's flip that over to a 200-day moving average for you, and let's just drop this over to 1 day, right? So we do a 1 day. It is above the 200-day moving average, and remember, many investors and probably algorithms kick in that, hey, it's back above the 200-day moving average. That's bullish, right? The weekly chart is currently bullish. Had a weekly chart buy signal at 702, currently at $7.39. Daily chart is bullish. The weekly chart is bullish. It's above the 200-day moving average. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. Maybe a long-term trend reversal. Let's see if there's any major gaps. Not really. I'm not really seeing any major gaps. So we don't see like some 70% gap fill or anything like that, or 20% gap fill, right? So you kind of dial it in more and more. Like on the daily chart, you kind of see like that was probably like the last breakout there. Buy signal, consolidated a little bit more for another 4 or 5 days, and then broke out to the upside. So looking, not financial advice, looking pretty good on the charts though. Daily chart, weekly chart, all of that is bullish as of right now. Hasn't even flipped ultra bullish. Angel, let's take a look at BABA. I think you've asked me about it before, and I might have forgotten. So if so, I apologize. But I think I've looked at it for someone too. So we'll see. Let's take a look at it. It's been on the chart for a long time. Let's see. 3 to 6 month expectations. Ooh. It's possible it's a lower. Here, let's switch the 200-week moving average back over to the weekly chart, just so we can look at it from a longer standpoint, right? You had this low here at $70. Let's flip over the weekly chart. This could be. It's too early to say. It's still bearish on the weekly chart, right? So I don't know about 3 to 6 months. It's you can't predict what it's going to do over 3 to 6 months, but prices are all the way back to August 2015, right? So August 2015, and you can see this wick down here took out and retested the all-time low of October 2015. It retraced 9 years, right? 9 years it retraced prices. So if you bought Alibaba stock anytime in the last 9 years, you're underwater, right? So you're underwater going all the way back up to October 2020. It's been in a bear market ever since. So October 2020, that is a long time to be in a bear market. And I remember shorting it back here because I've been talking about it and covering Alibaba for a long time. That's why it's on the Sniper Top 40. I've been covering for a long time. It's just been a bear market. This could be the low. It retested the all-time low at $58, right? It's possible this is a higher low on the weekly chart, but it's too early to say as of right now because it's still bearish on the weekly chart. So it just takes time to play out. Got long-term bullish divergence going all the way back to August 2021. So it's been going through a bottoming phase since then. It's still below the 200-week moving average, right? As we saw on the chart, it was still below the 200-day moving average, right? So it's still bearish overall. Maybe the daily chart was bullish for a minute, right? Did get a little bit of a bounce, but there's no higher probability reversal as of yet. So it's not a buy for me, and we don't know about how long it'll take, right? We can't predict, how long it'll take. It's possible this is a higher low on the weekly chart, but it's too early to say. Everything is in a downtrend as of right now on Alibaba. So not a buy for me. I would want to see the weekly chart start to right the ship around and start to look for additional buy signals on the daily chart and have the RSI and everything flip around on the weekly chart and start to look bullish overall, right? So kind of draw it out like that. If you're kind of watching it, probably takes some time to play out. So I guess if you look at it from this standpoint, it could take weeks, if not months. If this was the low, right? Assuming it is, if this were to be a higher low, then it might take some time to play out for it to be like a higher probability reversal, right? So that's kind of what it'd be, downward wedge like that. Now we're fully speculation. Now we're in full speculation mode, right? So that's what it could possibly be, but it's too early to say because there's been long-term bullish divergence. There could be additional long-term bullish divergence. What does that mean? It means where RSI is putting in higher lows and price is putting in lower lows, lower prices, right? So that's Alibaba. Hope that helps. 5 more minutes to go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? VPN. VPN. Had to fix grammar. Time to buy the right dip mode. ICP. Okay, we'll take a look at ICP, Ollie. ICP. Market cap, immediate capital. Let me know what exchange. If not, I'll just pick Binance. But let me know the exchange that you're on as well, ICP. So there's a weekly chart, still ultra bullish as of right now. Not a ton of chart history. So let's kind of zoom in here. Let's go. The weekly chart looked like it was still ultra bullish. The daily chart still currently ultra bullish. Getting pretty wicky though. Getting pretty wicky. Possible bearish divergence. Too early to say. It's still in an uptrend as of right now. So I'm not sure if you're already in a position. If you're in a position, maybe you're trying to ride this wave as long as possible, right? Still above the trending dots. Still above the trend line on the daily chart. Still ultra bullish on the daily chart. Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? So if you're already in it to win it, maybe you're trying to push this trade as long as possible, right? So obviously it's not financial advice, but you can see the candles is overbought, aka sometimes when the magic happens. So you can see where it got overbought here on December, but there's a magic wand because sometimes that's when the magic happens. So it's just kind of an inside joke that we put on the indicators over there. So sometimes when the magic happens, there we go. So that's ICP. Hope that helps. Let me know. Let me know. Is Big okay? Thanks. You got it. Morning, Jesse. Yeah, we talked about natural gas yesterday per Myrna's request. So it's going to probably be very similar to that. But I haven't looked at in a while because I watch more of like the natural gas futures, right? Because if it's pointing out less gaps because it's pretty much running nonstop. It takes like a 1 hour break, but it doesn't take like a 16-hour break, right? So, but we'll take a look at Yep, similar to natural gas yesterday. It's possible this is the low is in, right? That's long-term bullish divergence. But like I talked about in natural gas, not confirmed yet. A higher low is a higher probability, right? But is gaining strength back, right? On the weekly chart, there is momentum coming back into the market on the weekly chart for It's not back above the trending dots yet. There's no buy signal as of yet, but it's showing strength. And you had a buy signal yesterday on the daily chart. It's starting to make a move up. And so it could pump up, come back down, put in a higher low. And then maybe you see the weekly chart, in the coming weeks or whatever, also put in a buy signal. We got the 200-week moving average all the way up to $13.52. So is this the bottom? It's possible. Too early to call it. A higher low is the higher probability, right? We don't have that yet. It could pump up, come back down the trending dots, put in a higher low, and then come back up to the upside. So you just have to decide what your strategy is, what you're trying to do. Let's see. Will you be running into resistance? Yeah, it could be running into resistance. Doesn't mean it can't pump up like this, come back down, put in that higher low like we talked about, or pumps up, comes back down, right? hurts a lot of late entries, right? Got to hold through some pain probably, and then comes back up for the next buy the dip scenario. Now we kind of line up with like the weekly chart finally starting to flip bullish and get a buy signal in the coming weeks, if not months, right? In ahead of time. Hope that helps. Mo is welcome back to the live stream. SCAR, PayPal. Yep, we covered it. We covered it on the weekly chart. Not much else to really report there. We've been talking about it today and yesterday. SCAR, Myrna, Dow, Jesse, please. We covered the Dow Jones futures, I think. Or maybe I was just staring at it a lot. Let's see. That's the NASDAQ 485 on. Okay. Mois, got it. NASDAQ. This is NASDAQ. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. We're going to look at the futures, though, right? We're going to look at the futures. So nothing has changed, Myrna. Nothing's changed, but I've been looking at it. It is breaking down. It looks like it's lagging time-wise on NASDAQ, SP 500, and Russell 2000. But it did wick up. And remember, it's not how the candle starts. It's how the candle closes, right? So started with the big wick up, starting to break back down. So if we drop down to the lower time frames, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about there. Still bearish on the 4-hour chart, right? Still bearish on the 4-hour chart. And so this is all based off of the lower time frames as well. And my short was based off of the lower times as well. So still holding it, right? Came all the way back up, wicked up to where like I'm back to like break even in one 4-hour candle. So, you know, I'm still holding it and looking like a good decision as of right now. There was a pending buy signal on the 4-hour chart, but overall, you know, my overall thesis is that, and this obviously not financial advice, but just for educational purposes, right? The NASDAQ took out this pivot low here where this reverse candle is on the NASDAQ, on the Dow Jones. So I'm hoping Dow Jones does as well for my short, right? NASDAQ has already come into this target area here. So I'm hoping Dow Jones does as well. The VIX is bullish on the daily chart, so it seems like it's all lining up. So I'm going to continue to hold it, see what happens, and you know if it starts to regain the trading dots and have a buy signal, then I'll probably reconsider my position. But as of right now, you know the stop loss is in, and I haven't moved it to break even. If it starts to break down lower and lower, then I'll probably move it to break even after that. Because if I moved it to you know, right around break even, it's the wick is very close that I probably would have been stopped out of my trade and I would have had to re-enter, and I would have had to re-enter while on the live stream, and I probably would have missed it, right? Yeah. So here we go. Here's the 1-hour chart, right? Came all the way back up. And then at 9 o'clock, you know, when we went live an hour ago, it's a pending sell with a reversal candle back to the downside. So I would have probably missed it, and so I held it. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, if it wicked me out and it was a stop loss, you know, it's not the end of the world, right? So I would have just re-entered, and it was like a 4-to-1, a 4.22 risk to reward ratio, right? And so how many times do you have to be right to break even? If it's a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, then you have to be right 34% of the time to be profitable. So on a 4.22, how often do you have to be right? Less than that, right? So there's calculators out there. You can take a look at it. But that's my thoughts on it. Don't copy trade me. Don't do what I do. You know, not everyone can duplicate what I do. So don't copy trade me. Learn to do it yourself, right? Learn to do it yourself. But that's still my main thesis as of right now. And that's what I'm continuing to watch. Find out if anything changes or reverses after that. Mois, okay, so you're profitable as of right now, 485 on UNG. Just remember that probably expect a higher low at some point. So you have to decide if you're going to take profit and re-enter, or you just add to your position or whatever. Thank you for Baba. You got it. You got it. Thanks. You got it. Thanks. You got it. Myrna. All right. So we're over. I forgot to turn the hat on backwards. Let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin. Still hovering right at $44,000. Let's put the daily chart back on, right? So that's what we're still watching, right? Even wicked back above that trend line again. You could even consider that another fake out. So a closed fake out, reversal back down, fake out to the downside, fake out to the upside. What we always talked about in the Discord for the past couple of years is expect fake outs along the way. And with that, thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for smashing the subscribe button. Thank you for all your continued support. I appreciate you. Appreciate all the things you do. And we'll continue to sniper the markets together. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope you have a good, we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. And we will see you tomorrow on Friday.